Can you tell me more about the CPD program?
The program takes note of the fact that a lot of people working in the IT industry haven't got qualifications in IT. So people have stumbled into the industry. People have come straight from school, or they've got a degree in something else, or they've dropped out of a degree, and they're now working in the industry. And after a few years, people find they've learned on the job, they've got quite far, but they haven't a formal qualification. And that lack of a formal qualification at some point in your career starts to act against you. You don't get the promotions, you don't move up. And it's quite hard if you don't have a formal qualification because you get blocked, you don't get the promotions. And to get a formal qualification halfway through your career is very difficult. You can either take a bunch of short courses, but the short courses don't add up to anything. You can do UNISA courses, which are fantastic, but very hard to study alone and to get through UNISA courses. So we've taken a Wits program called the Master of Engineering program, the MEng. And that Master of Engineering program is the prerequisite to get into it is you have to have a 4-year degree. It's a master's program. So you would need an engineering degree or an honors degree in computer science or information systems. And it's been on our books for many years, and we were finding that very few people were coming to do it because people didn't have the prerequisites. What we've done is we've created a bridge for people who've got experience. So it's quite hard for people to get a formal qualification. And we've taken a Wits master's program called the Masters of Engineering, and we bridge people into it. We use a rule that most universities have, which is called a mature student rule or differently qualified applicant rule. And it gives the possibility that a university can accept into a master's program people who've got 10 years of appropriate work experience if they've just got a matric, or 6 years of work experience if they've got a degree but not an honors degree. So it takes account of the fact that you're a more senior person, you're in your late 20s or you're older, and you've got experience. And we bridge people into a program. The bridge we call the CPD, the Continuing Professional Development Program, and it takes the courses that make up the core courses of the masters and teaches them as short courses. The master's program, the Master of Engineering, has a total of 8 courses or modules, and 5 of them are called core courses. And those 5 courses we've repackaged as Wits short courses. So anyone can basically come off the street and do those courses. But we teach them in the same class with the same lecturer, ending with the same exam as the master's course. So it's possible for a person to come, anyone to come in and do those 5 courses and to get accredited as having finished the short course. We then have a mechanism where we can use that to help people get into the master's program using the differently qualified applicant rule. So that's what the CPD is. The courses we offer are a first course that's a prerequisite for all the others, called Software Engineering Principles and Methods. It's a 6-week course. It begins at the end of January, and people come. It's a course that just introduces you to the general ideas of software engineering. We then have 2 more technical courses, and I'll come back to those, but those are both 13 weeks, and you can do one of those in your first year. They run in parallel. And then there's a course called Introduction to Database Systems, and a course called Software Project Management, and the two last ones are also 6-week courses. So you can do 4 courses in year 1, the 3 6-week courses, and then one of the more technical courses. The more technical courses are called Software Engineering, Design and Analysis, and Software Development Techniques and Methods. And those courses are 13 weeks long, and there's no exam in them. You would just do them as a continuous assessment through the courses. To do those courses, because they both depend very strongly on object-oriented principles, the major reason we find people don't pass those courses is they don't have a good foundation in object-oriented. And we do a skills test in November before the program starts to just check how competent people are in object-oriented principles. It's not a train smash if you don't pass the test, because then we've got another plan for you that I'll explain. But if you pass it, you can then do all 4 courses in year 1. At the end of year 1, you can then make application to be accepted into the master's program. And that acceptance is not based on me. There's a committee at the university that would then accept you. And the committee is very risk averse. So if you were to just apply off the street and say, I've got 12 years experience, let me in, they would probably say no, because they say, well, you know, who's this person knocking on our door and saying they want to do a master's at Wits? I'm sure they can't cope, we won't let them in. But if you come and apply having finished 4 CPD courses with a 60% average, you then have almost, not guaranteed, but a very strong chance the committee will let you in. Which means at the end of year 1, you apply to do the masters if you choose to. And then in year 2, you would do the technical course that you haven't done in the first year. Plus you can choose 3 elective courses. One is a course we offer called Software Engineering Selected Topics, and that's taught towards the end of the second year. And then you can pick any 2 other master's level courses from Wits. Lots of our students choose courses from mechanical engineering, from the industrial engineering program. There's management of technology, there's lean manufacture, there's quite a lot of nice courses that you can pick from there. So you could in year 2 do 4 further courses. There are also 2 capstone courses. A capstone course is something that synthesizes and integrates all the information that you've acquired. One's a design project and one's a research project, and they continue for the whole year. You begin in January. There's no lectures for them. You meet with a supervisor and you do your design and your research. Now, it's a bit intense to do both of those and 4 courses in year 2. You could spread it over 2 years. So you can, in 3 years, complete the Master of Engineering degree from the time you start. All the courses you pass as a CPD are given to you as credits in the master's program. So you can kind of get into, you prove that you can get into the master's based on your experience and having passed the core courses, or 4 of the core courses, with a 60% average. I must stress that we can't guarantee the conversion happens. It's a committee that makes decisions, and we put it forward. If for any reason they don't accept you, then you would either have to try again, get more experience or do what they recommend.